We're going to start with intense flooding on the West Coast. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says the extensive rainfall poses a rare high risk for floods. As a powerful storm dumps rain across California, evacuation orders are in effect. And that is prompting concerns for flash flooding and possible mudslides, especially in areas burned earlier this year by wildfires. CBS News reporter Andres Gutierrez joins us from Altadena, which, if you don't know, is just north of Los Angeles. Andres, what are officials telling you about the severity of the rain so far and what's predicted?
Good day, Major. They're telling folks out here that it is dangerous because of where and when it's hitting. Here in Altadena, they are still recovering from the devastating Eaton fire. And so whenever there is heavy rainfall, the water cannot be absorbed by the soil. And so this morning, the rain started shortly after midnight. Then around 4:30 this morning, there was just torrential rain that ended up creating runoff, a substantial amount that began racing towards local streets. Moments ago, there was some heavy machinery out here starting to clear out the debris. So some of that mud would not go down to those local streets and start clogging up storm drains, creating that risk for localized flooding. Nearly half of California, more than 19 million residents currently under a moderate or high risk of potential flooding on this Christmas Eve. This is the same atmospheric river that ended up pounding Northern California just days ago. And so officials out here are telling folks that they don't want to see it get as bad as it did back then.
And how are people coping in terms of shelters or evacuation orders, heating them or not?
They are indeed heating them. Right now, more than 120 homes here in Altadena and across the metro over in the Pacific Palisades are under mandatory evacuation warnings. In fact, yesterday we ended up rolling out with some of the sheriff deputies with the LA County Sheriff, and they were going door to door telling folks that they had to leave because of high risk of their homes being at high risk of flooding. One woman did heed the warning, is staying at an Airbnb for the holidays. She says that there was a bad mud flow situation that happened a month after that devastating wildfire. They did not have barriers up near her house, so her home, when she came back to it, was completely caked in mud. And so they have put up barriers for this particular storm. So she is hoping that that will hold up, as well as the sandbags that they were able to distribute yesterday at one center here in Altadena.
Having grown up in Southern California, I know sandbags are not typical, but they are these days. Andres, thank you so much. Let's get now to CBS News Bay Area meteorologist Zoe Mintz with a look at your forecast.
A lot of messy travel is expected all across the west coast of the United States, as in fact, every single county across the west coast is dealing with some sort of weather alert, whether it's high wind warnings with gust upwards of 80 plus miles an hour. In fact, we've already seen some 90-mile-an-hour wind gusts early this morning. Snow upwards of 5 to 8 feet on the highest elevations of the Sierra. That is going to create for some treacherous travel. Those of you who are planning on going skiing or snowboarding this weekend for your Christmas, you're going to want to give yourself extra time. Make sure those chains are on your tires. And 6 to 14 inches of rain across central and southern California. This is what we're most concerned about because burn scar flash flooding is going to be a huge issue from those burn scars from earlier fires this year. 6 to 8 inches of rain just in the next 24 to 36 hours. That's a lot in a short amount of time. Burn scar flash flooding leading to mudslides and debris flow are likely. As the rain is going to continue basically all morning and into the early afternoon, there will be a brief break, but more waves of rain are likely throughout the day on Christmas. So keep that in mind for any travel plans Christmas. Low elevation, heavy rain and strong winds, high elevation snow, and the central part of the country actually dealing with record-breaking warm temperatures, 70 degrees by Christmas Day in Denver, Colorado. So it's going to be warm across the central part of the country, but pretty treacherous across the west coast.
Zoe Mintz, thank you.